And welcome to Your Best Interviews. My name is Eric Smith. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. I know there's a lot of places you could go for this information, so I appreciate you spending it here. If this is helpful, please share with others. My goal is to help as many people as I can. Today, what I want to talk about is how to answer employment history gaps in your resume when you're interviewing. This is a tough one. It's always tough to talk about gaps in your work history because every hiring manager typically looks at this as a red flag. If I'm being really honest, every hiring manager that looks at employment gaps sees this as a red flag because it shows that maybe you're not focused, maybe you're not dedicated, and all of those could be completely not true, right? There's a lot of reasons that people have employment history gaps, but from a hiring manager perspective, they look at that as a red flag. And so you should be prepared for them to ask you questions about it. My best answer or my best advice on how to answer these is to be honest, right? But frame it in the right way. So everyone, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of different reasons that you would have employment history gaps. Maybe there's something that happened within the family. Maybe something happened specifically personally to you. Maybe it was just a bad environment or situation and you needed to take time for yourself. Maybe you found yourself in a job that you just didn't want and you felt that it was deteriorating you personally and kind of your passion for different areas in life. There's, a lot of reasons why people have employment history gaps, but you really want to take into account what those were. If it's something that, family related, health related, those are okay. You shouldn't stress about that. You can share that if you choose. You can share that openly and not stress about that. If it's more, you were getting burnt out and you felt like you needed a break, that's okay as well. But you need to frame that correctly. Again, they're looking at this as a red flag. And if you were like, I just didn't want to work for a year, I wanted to take a year off to travel, that's fine, right? But you want to frame that, right? So what they're thinking about is during that time off, what did you do to grow personally, professionally? And so what you want to think about is, again, why you left, but frame it in a way where, I was burnt out. I felt like I found myself in an industry or a role that really wasn't what I wanted to be doing long term. My goal is to have impact on others or have impact on a larger scale. And so I took that time to really, do this. Maybe you volunteered. Maybe you worked somewhere else where you were kind of assessing your skill set and where else it could translate to have that larger impact. Maybe it was just you were taking time for yourself to really understand where you wanted to deploy your time and efforts to have that broader impact. But what you want to think about and what you want to frame up is specifically what you were doing to work on yourself, to help yourself realize these things and why it led you to interviewing for the company that you're interviewing for and the role that you're interviewing for. So again, tricky answer, guys, but my advice here is to be honest about it. If it's something that could be seen as a red flag, if the reason that you left or the reason that you weren't working is maybe more of a red flag, like I just really wasn't doing much, frame it in a way that helped lead you to applying to the company that you're applying to, helped you kind of refocus and reevaluate where you should be spending your time to ultimately have the impact that you want to have on a larger scale. And that's why you're interviewing for the role that you're interviewing with the company that you're interviewing with. That's how I would answer those. Again, it's a tricky question. There's no easy way around it, but the best thing you can do is be prepared for it and think about how to frame it up in the way that best highlights why you're interviewing for the role that you're interviewing with that same company. Good luck.